Alright, it's recording. Hey everyone. So, you read the title 2025 Review. What did I think of this year? It was pretty good. I'm gonna talk about like all the big national cultural shit, and then I'm gonna get into personal life stuff later. So if you don't want to hear that, don't stick around. But the general review is this was a hard year for me personally, with a bunch of crazy health shit going on with people in my family, bunch of crazy, insane shit going on with like really close relatives that I'm gonna get into. That's the general idea. I'll get into specifics later. But what did I think of this year in general? It's pretty alright. On like, it's weird. This year has felt really weird, and let me know if this is just me, but I feel like on the whole, this year has felt like significantly worse for like in an actual tangible way. Like, oh, the president is trying to fucking dismantle the entire country. Everything is getting worse. Everything is more privatized. Everything is more like just fucking evil now. And yeah, I'm a minute into the video. I can say fuck and shit and pussy. But yeah, that's a weird thing with YouTube. I've noticed. It doesn't really affect me because I have like 20 subscribers and my views are just fully random. So, but it's this interesting thing I've heard where like if you say fuck in the first minute of a video, it gets demonetized. I don't know how true that is. I don't know. My channel's not monetized, so for me, everything's demonetized. It's the fucking the chimp. I fucking love that photo. But yeah, there's been a fucking bad year when you look at like the world stage shit where it's like America is descending into insane fascism, and it's weird because it's not in like the visible way. When you look at shit like when you look at things like the Third Reich, where when they took over, it was like an insane, outwardly visible fucking like there's Germans marching the street, going door to door, asking for minorities and shit. They're asking where the Jews at, where the gay people at, where the black people at, where the socialists, where the this, that. And it's weird because America's slow descent into it has felt less like that, less like an organized hatred, and more like it's just everything is just falling apart. And it's like the systems that are good in this country, like Social Security, the very little health care that we get through like Medicare and shit, all of it is collapsing on a more national way, and it feels like it's not really targeted towards anyone. It's weird. It's like fucking retard fascism, where instead of like a targeted, intelligent, evil fucking effort to ruin the lives of people, it's like it's just widespread pandemonium on a small scale within the government, and it is fucking weird to watch. Not even watch, but I mean, it's weird because I'm very privileged. I'm white. I live in the South. I'm in fucking Agartha for white people, and because of that, I'm not feeling it so much. But it's interesting to see, like, hear all the crazy shit. Everything with, like, ICE slowly becoming a fucking Gestapo, just deporting people, killing people. Apparently that's a thing now. Apparently ICE just dumps people off, and we just don't know where those people are now. Could be dead. Could be wandering a foreign country with no way to contact anyone. We don't know. That's pretty fucked up. The world as a whole, I don't know. I feel like in 2024 things were a lot more negative outwardly, and it was probably just because it's election year, and now it's like we're just living in it. But in 2024, it was like kind of recorded across the board in particularly America and the EU that like, oh, the far right is getting more and more popular. Everything is going crazy. And in this year, I felt like, at least looking at like international news, the exact opposite, where like the EU is trying to cut ties as much as it can with America because they're going into like, we're going back to imperialism apparently. We give me Greenland, give me Mexico, give me Cuba. Me want all the shapes, me want all the countries. It's fucking, we live in Stupidville. Hey pal, just blowing from Stupid Town. But yeah, America's getting like significantly worse for everyone, and but seeing the EU's response to it is honestly very hopeful, because I feel like dream political world stage is all of these countries acting as relatively equal actors and just being good on their own. But that's not happening right now. We have America and China are just kind of evil, and then we have the EU is like the good one. And the EU, I mean, up until recently, up until really this year, was not an American vassal, but like significantly weaker than the U.S. and China, and I feel like we're going to see that shift. I think the EU, once they kind of get on their own and start making like power plays of their own and shit, I think that'll be good to see. Um, and ultimately, I mean, it's weird to say this, but I feel like we've hit a point with most countries where the vast majority of people are living full, healthy-ish lives where they get to live out their lives and do whatever. And I mean that's really cool to see, but we're seeing kind of like a backslide in America specifically. Like it's the Twitter post that's like China invents 5,000 bridges, creates fastest light rail network of all time, and then American invention, racist DoorDash, and it's just it's so fucking funny. But yeah, I feel like on a world stage, shit is looking bad for America because we're fucking shooting ourselves in the foot. I was thinking about this. America is like by far the most powerful nation ever. China's catching up and they'll probably surpass us within like, honestly, in some ways they've already surpassed. Like for the average person living, I feel like they already have. For the like average guy who goes to work every day, you would probably have a better life in China than you would in America, and that's fucking sad because, and I mean it probably is out of some like fucking subconscious racism, but like America has been effectively its own thing for like 40 years since the USSR fell. Like, USSR was by far the biggest threat to America. It was by far the closest competitor to America. And after they collapsed, we've had like 30 years to do whatever the fuck. And I mean, frankly, America has had we've basically had impunity to do whatever we can to develop, and we've just sat on our fucking dicks and ruined the lives of our countrymen, ruined the lives of people internationally. Oh my god, look at the Middle East. Like, look at the whole fucking region and every awful goddamn thing we've done there. And it's like, why the fuck did we do that? We could have spent the last 30 years making friends, sending humanitarian aid, building roads, bridges, friends, and shit. But no, fuck you. We're gonna build absolutely fuck all. We're not gonna develop our own, like, domestic industry. We're gonna say fuck you, shoot ourselves in the dick, and go jerk off to Twitter porn. We live in hell. We live in Fortnite hell. And it's just fucking crazy that, like, this is supposedly the strongest nation in human history, and for some reason everyone running it is so fucking stupid that it's just collapsing before us. And it sucks to see because, I mean, as much as America has extreme fucking problems and just absurd fucking problems with it, it's still my home. I still want it to succeed and be a good country to live in, but it can't fucking even do that. Like, my home state, I'm from Alabama. I know how fucking awful it is here. Do you know how little the state does to help its people? Do you know how little all of this shit does? It is fucking insane. It literally feels like the way people on Twitter talk about like Uganda or Rwanda and shit, where it's like they're taking advantage of the people, the rulers. President of Kenya builds new house that's worth 10 trillion while guy starves in street. It's literally that. Like, we're living in like a fucking Twitter post, and the country is going downhill. And I mean, there's really no conclusion to be had from it. It's just like, damn, that sucks. um, and I'm sure there's, I mean, I still have hope that, like, there's good people in the U.S. Midterms are coming up within a year, so, there's good people who are going to hopefully make better decisions in the future and make good change for the country, but, I mean, it's been in a back and forth center right versus far right thing for the last, like, fucking 50 years, and I know, think about it. The last, like, true progressives we had was, like, JFK. Lyndon B. Johnson, he's a fucking dickhead. He's a fucking idiot. Nixon, little fucking idiot, sits in the White House jerking off instead of actually doing anything. JFK was really the last, and he wasn't even crazy good. He was just, like, a slight progressive. And he's fucking hailed as one of the best of all time. And now we're sitting here with a bunch of fucking old people and idiots. And it's fucked. We are fucked. Jimmy Carter was good. He didn't do as much, but, like, he was good. He was alright. But, like, genuinely, our country has been run by the fucking lowest common denominator fucking idiots and just stupid fucking people who don't do anything to actually, like, move on. And, oh, hey, the entire electrical grid, it's like 80 years old. It's fucking collapsing. The entire, like, water grid. Is that a thing? Is that a term? Let me Google this. Like, what's it called? Like the sewer system. What is the term for national sewer system? What's that called? Sewerage. Huh. Okay, it's just sewer system in the U.S. Okay. Wikipedia say, the computer say, the iPhone say, sewerage or sewage system is the infrastructure that conveys sewage. Okay, here we go. It's called sewerage in British English and sewage system or sewer system in American English. Okay, cool. I thought sewer system was right, but I thought that was just like the city level. But huh. The more you know, rainbow logo over the screen right now. But yeah, the country is just, like, falling to shit. All of the infrastructure is, like, 5,000 years old. Genuinely. Like, if you live in the U.S., go outside right now and just look around. Look at, like, things that are public infrastructure or things that are ran by the government. Look at, if you live in a state with, like, big, suburban roadways, think, when was the last time you saw a pothole filled or saw a full road repaved? Think, when was the last time you saw that? When was the last time you saw a power line replaced in front of your house? When was the last time you saw your sewer system get updated by the city? That actually happened recently at, like in front of my house. They, I think they're replacing, I'll tell you why. I just remembered why. It's because it was fucking lead. Like, the radioactive metal that contains, like, fucking radium, it was that. So they had to replace it with PVC. And they'll have to replace that in 50 years when they find out that plastic gives you cancer. Or they just leave it in there. They say, fuck it this time. But, I mean, you get the idea. But, yeah, we're pretty fucked as a country. And it sucks because if like, the country just kept it, not even replaced, like, all of its infrastructure at once. Replaced, like, what would be a good percent? I personally believe infrastructure should be fully new every, like, 30-ish years, Look at, like, electrical systems built in the 90s. It's fine. But, like, we're hitting the point in the U.S. where pretty much all of our shit stopped in the 80s. Wonder why? Because of Reagan. And then, like, pretty much all of our shit stopped being updated around the time Reagan went into office. And it's never really restarted. Like, go outside, look at, like, your local rail systems. It's been the same shit for 40 years. There's never, they're building a new rail line with passenger rail support or any shit like that. There's just no infrastructure in the U.S., and there hasn't been. It's just fucking degraded. And it's interesting because, like, the U.S. is one of the most privatized countries in the world. Almost everything is privately ran, and the things that are government ran are privately contracted. It is almost everything is ran by a private company, private individual. It is fucking absurd. And I'm not some fucking, like, do they still even call the people who believe in, like, state-ran shit tankies? Do they still use that term? I remember hearing that shit back when I was, like, fucking 13, watching Twitch streams in my fucking bedroom, jerking off. Oh my god, man. That fucking brings me back. Back in, like, 2018 or 19, I was a fucking Vosh fan. Vaush? Yeah, I think that's how you spell it. And I eventually stopped watching the guy, and then I would type up his name on YouTube like a few years ago to, go see if the videos were like good, because I was like a fucking 13-year-old, 14-year-old. I didn't understand politics, so I would just watch whatever fucking slop got thrown at me. And I'm really lucky that YouTube just happened to throw a leftist at me instead of fucking Nick Fuentes or some bullshit, Like, what if they just flung Candace Owens at me as, like, a fucking 10-year-old? Okay, guess I'm just racist now, It's pretty fucked up that algorithms decide our life. That's another thing with, like, private shit is, I'm not saying, I don't believe in, like, state political education. I think that's pretty fucked up. But I still think there should be a degree of, like, publicly disseminated knowledge. Like, there's that one is one of the very fine lines where, if I'm like the current party in an administration, I'd just say, this is the new candidate for president in 2028. This one is cool and good and great. This one kicks dogs and fucks babies. Like, that's understandable that there's not really a public way to disseminate knowledge like that, but it's a weird line to toe with that one, so I get it. But it's also, the alternative of just whatever you find on Google really isn't much better. So I don't know, I'm curious. That's an interesting, I like how this video has not been about 2025 at all. It's just been me fucking skullduggery type shit. Baja bleh. I love Taco Bell. But, yeah. But, all this shit about talking about the government, government's pretty fucked up. That's not good. Did you guys see where Japan has, like, a fucking Margaret Thatcher now? They have, like, a batshit insane right-wing woman who's running the country. What the fuck is happening in the world, man? Like, I get it's a joke that, like, every generation thinks they grow up and like, the world collapses when they turn, like, 20. But, I mean, and to a degree, it probably has always been like this. It's just getting older and being like, holy shit, because you're developed enough to understand it now. And, that's probably what happened when I've grown up. Because, I can't fucking imagine growing up, like, 30, 40 years ago. Like, imagine being a kid and then growing up and hearing, like, oh yeah, Soviet Union just collapsed. What? Like, that would be like, I wake up tomorrow and just hear, oh yeah, China's 5 countries now. What the fuck is happening? I respect the people who grew up in that era, because, like, I can't imagine growing up and being like, oh damn, was USSR bigger than the US? USSR population. Demographics, 209 million people. Is that more than the US? Okay, it had the 3rd largest population in the world behind China and India. Okay. Damn. Oh. Oh. Damn. Damn, that's crazy. But, so yeah, it was a bigger, like, imagine hearing that a country bigger than America fucking collapsed. Oh my god, I'd tweak the fuck out. I'd be freaking the fuck out. Like, there's nothing I can do about that. But damn, that's pretty fucking crazy, man. I'd be freaking out. There's nothing you can really do about that, but, like, I'd probably go on I'd go on 1992, I'd go on fucking Netscape or some shit, and I'd be like, anybody seeing this shit right now? That's crazy. I'd be typing on my fucking. That's fucking wild, though. But and I'm sure every generation has their like, or every few. I mean, hell, every day there's some crazy bullshit happening in the world, but it feels like the last. Honestly, I feel like it's getting blown a lot more. I wish I was getting blown a lot more. Salam alaikum. Walaikum salam. Man, what the fuck am I doing? But uh but I feel like the events of the last decade have been blown out of proportion a lot more. And I feel like some things have also been toned down a lot more, at least by like vague current American cultural zeitgeist. Some shit has been way toned down in importance. Like Russia-Ukraine war just not getting talked about is pretty fucked up. Because this is like the largest war of the last, what, decade? I mean, U.S. and Afghanistan up until like 2022, but like even that was, I mean, that was like a decade long occupation, and I feel like the impact of, or like at least for Americans, the impact of everything in the Middle East and Afghanistan and Iraq and Iran, all that shit we did, fucking around over there, killing people for no fucking reason. I mean, well, for racism and oil, but like I feel like that's had an impact, but I feel like the Ukraine shit, nobody fucking cares. And it is wild how little people care about it. And I think that'll be an interesting thing to see within the next couple of years, because as the U.S. is getting more and more decoupled from the EU, I wonder how the EU will, because they're probably going to ramp up aid to Ukraine, because I mean, U.S. aid to Ukraine is like, what, 10-20% of all total, like aid to Ukraine. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Majority of Western governments have given 380 billion. 118 billion in direct aid from individuals. Okay, the EU has given 132 billion, and the US has given 114 billion. Yeah, so like, I imagine the EU's aid will ramp up a bit because, let me show you how I get this on the screen. How do I get this on the screen? It's not showing up on the screen. Pull up there. I was watching YouTube. Yeah, I was also playing Terraria. Fuck off. But yeah, that's that fucking USSR shit. Yeah, there's that. And then, so this is the countries that have given aid to Ukraine. All right, let's see. Delivered weapon. Oh wait, this is okay. I want to see like which one. Okay, I just want to see like which ones have given money. Is there a map that shows like the numbers? No. Okay, cool. All right, let's just read this out then. Okay, so all of the guys in dark blue gave them guns and shit. I like how they gave Ukraine its own. Fuck you. That's so stupid. It's so fucking stupid when maps do that. This is Ukraine. Yeah, I don't know what Ukraine is. Ugh. Funny. God, there was this guy I went to high school with who was Ukrainian. I wonder how he's doing. His name was Andre. He was a good guy, but dude, he fucking loved JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I did too, so we got on pretty well. He was a good guy. I miss him. God. Most of the people I knew in high school, I just, like, there's only really 3 people, I think, yeah, 3 people from high school that I still keep up with, and 2 of them I'm not really gonna, oh, I accidentally clicked on the map. 2 of them I'm not really gonna keep up with after this year, because main social thing I see them in isn't really gonna be, they're not gonna be in it after this year. But, and then the one other guy is like a close friend of mine, was one of my best friends in school, but I mean, we're still tight. I just don't really talk to him as much. But, you know, it's weird looking back now that I've had like a few years to like basically grow up, and being able to look back at high school years and be like, damn, I wonder what those people are up to, what they're like now. And it's an interesting thing to see. But, who knows? Well, let's see. We got delivered guns or heavy weapons to Ukraine. I'm assuming that means like artillery and like rockets and shit. I don't know. And light weapons, I'm assuming just means guns, just like pistols and rifles and shit, probably. But let's see. Delivered non-lethal military aid. Okay, and the only ones who did that are Ireland. Oh, let's see if I get this country right. It's not Switzerland. Switzerland is right here. Fuck you. I didn't want to show it. Well, now we know it's Austria, but like, fuck you. I wanted to find out. Malta, then Cyprus. Is Cyprus its own country? And then Israel. Wait, no? Is that not Israel? I'm not saying. God. It's so fucking. Also, yeah, I feel like this year at least, people are more aware of Israel being just like evil. I mean, that's pretty weird. But, I don't know. I mean, but, let's see. And then Japan and South Korea also gave money. That's pretty cool. But, non-material military aid. What is non-material? Oh, it probably just means like money. Yeah? And I'm assuming non-lethal military aid. So like, I'm guessing food and bread and shit. What is non-lethal military aid? Non-lethal military. What, like MREs? Probably like body armor and shit. Yeah, probably. Huh. Let's see. Shout out Pakistan, apparently. What's going on with Pakistan? Pakistan and India. Why do they hate each other? I don't know the lore. Why do Pakistan and India just fucking hate each other? I know it's because, like, Hindu versus Muslim, like, majority, but, like, is that it? Is that it? You know? Like, it just doesn't seem worth it. But, anyways, what I was saying, the reason I got onto this topic was, you know, fuck, my brain is going on stupid mode. Like, with the EU kind of decoupling from the US, it's interesting. Oh, it's not in dollars, it's in euro. Okay. But, what is that? No, I'm not gonna Google fucking euro to USD. It'll make me sad about the value of my country's currency. But, my fucking brain is on stupid. I can't fucking remember shit right now. But, yeah. With the U.S. decoupling from the EU, or the EU rightly getting the fuck out of Dodge with, you know, the U.S. collapsing into fucking insanity. Can't blame them for getting the fuck out of Dodge. They need to for their own safety, for like, because, you know, the whole shit with Greenland, I mean, it's a fucking joke, you know? I mean, it's fucking obvious that it's not going to be the U.S. It's not going to be part of the U.S. It's part of Denmark. It's not, it's fucking dumb, and whatever dipshit in the U.S. government's like, this will work. This will be our country. You know, they're fucking dumb. But I mean, hell, the EU is right to, you know, take action and protect themselves and shit. Let's see what you know what? No, dark mode better. What does wide mode look like? That's so much better than the default. Fucking thank you. I want to be able to read everything on the screen, not a fucking, like a fucking 1 like millimeter wide fucking thing. But yeah. Oh, whoa, there's me. Look. Wait. It's another version of me. It's like a smaller me inside of the camera. It's so fucking stupid. It's so fucking dumb. But yeah, world stage shit is getting crazy, and America is seemingly becoming the villain. Um, and people have always joked about like, oh, the U.S. is, or not even joked, but like, at least even within the U.S., it's kind of been common knowledge that we're like, we're still very tied to the imperialist, insane bullshit roots. With you look at our actions, especially in the Middle East and in Southeast Asia and Africa over the last like 50 years. I did the 6-7. You couldn't see it, but like over the last like 50 years, we've had all that, and then you look at like the couple hundred years previous, and it's just very out there and in the open about it. And now it's like slightly more insidious, slightly more pretend, like false pretenses, like we're gonna go liberate Syria, we're gonna go liberate Iraq, and while we're there, we J.P. Morgan Chase takes like 20 trillion in oil while it's there, that type of shit. You get what I'm saying? Like the U.S. is still very, very imperialist, very. It'll take advantage of you if it thinks it can, and it's fucked up. But like overall, I feel like America has done, at least for like the Western, the Western world, fucking 90% of what am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? At least for like most Western shit, most first world societies that don't have oil, don't have any natural resources that we can take advantage of. It feels like it's mostly done a good turn. Like you look at after World War II, how NATO was effectively entirely because of the U.S. And that might be dick riding, but like, I mean, no offense, but like, Europe prior to World War II was a bunch of little fucking fiefdoms arguing over oil and shit. Not oil. They were what were like the resource concern? What were like the resources thought about in Europe? Because I mean, you look at countries like Germany, France, and Britain are like the big boys, and then you have like I forget, I mean Russia's kind of European, but like Asian mostly. I feel like, but you get what I'm saying though. Like at least after World War II, my personal belief is without like U.S. intervention and creating NATO and shit, and it wasn't entirely like we didn't entirely create NATO on our own, but NATO was kind of the thing that kept shit together and made shit good, and I feel like without that, the EU probably would have fell back into insane bullshit fiefdoms like it had been for like the 100 years prior to World War II, where it's like, oh, fucking all these tiny little ass countries constantly fucking beefing. But I mean, after World War II, we got like global trade. Oh, fucking idiot. We got like global trade and shit, and now we have like skyscrapers and shit, and that's pretty cool. Um, but yeah, I feel like now we're seeing the opposite, where you know, pro- honestly, mostly because the U.S.'s insane actions in the last like, honestly, ever since Trump got elected, pretty much, like we've seen the U.S. just fucking go schizo mode, and now we're watching the world kind of go back into isolationist shit, and I mean, America, we can argue about China's, like, oh, China versus America, who wins? And the answer is nobody, because we got to get along type shit. But it's really sad to watch, like, America has been the main driving force behind, like, global connection and shit. Like, America did have, like, it, America had by far the biggest impact in making everyone come to the table, get a seat at the table, and start trading and shit. And it sucks to see that as America has gone back into fucking insanity, just schizo bullshit, the entire world has just slowly started like decoupling. Like, now we've got like the EU. China's always been like slightly isolationist. It's not like a fucking hermit kingdom, but I mean, it's not like fucking when was it, like 1800s Japan? But like we've just seen, like, especially the EU in particular, just as it's decoupling, like we're just seeing like the world kind of backslide into being more isolationist, less it's sad to see. You get what I'm saying, and that's really sad to see. But yeah, I mean, pretty much everything I've said so far in the 35 minutes I've already had in this video, um, it's sad to see. Pretty much all of it has been negative. You know, the world in general is going downhill, but a few places are looking up. Um, China, despite its authoritarian bullshit, has been slowly creating a better life for its citizens, which is pretty cool to see. They seem like one of the few areas in the world that is actively developing and actively building infrastructure and shit, and that's pretty cool. The EU is honestly, they already have infrastructure, and people are starting to, you know, we're seeing the EU, we're seeing governments there shift more left wing, and that's pretty cool. EU, though, at least in the last few years, the EU has become like noticeably more anti-immigrant, and that's pretty weird. I don't know. You see a lot of shit from like you know, people online in the EU talking about don't let the rapists in or shit like that, and it's hard to see through it because I don't know the fucking, you know, race breakdown of kid touchers in Belgium. You know, I don't fucking know that, but like, it's hard to tell just from news online how much of it is sensationalist bullshit designed to make people racist. So that way, you know, if you can. What's the quote is, if you can convince someone he's better than the man next to him, then you can rob him blind. It's one of the quotes from, I want to say like an oil baron or some shit. But, yeah, it's sad to see, and with the EU, it's an interesting question of like how much of that bullshit is real and how much of it is just like this is just racist shit. This is like fucking Newsmax telling you to go beat up a local minority. It's we're getting into fucking evil world, you know. We're getting into cuckoo shit, and it's sad to see how like the very American style of just like loud, fragrant racism, or vagrant, fragrant. Did I say fucking fragrant? Yeah, it's stinky too. Like vagrant racism of just like the style the U.S. has had, where like, you know, we had Trump in 2016 calling Mexicans, being like, we need to get them out. And now in 2025, we have Trump being like, they're fucking dogs. We need to kill them. We need to throw them in the ocean. You know, it's sad to see that type of insane bullshit kind of spread. I don't really have, you know, I'm not a politician, which is good because it means I can't make shit worse. But, yeah, I don't really know what to say about that because I don't really have any solutions. You know, it's just like, damn, that sucks. Hopefully that gets better. I don't really know. I don't really have any solutions in that regard. Which I mean it sucks. That sucks. Ooh. That stupid fucking video of the monkey going like, it's so fucking dumb. Have you seen the video of the dog barking at the chimp, where the chimp is just like fucking with it, and then the chimp just goes, and then the dog just goes. It's so fucking funny. I need to find that shit. Let's get my phone out. Let's get my iPhone. No iPhone 12. I don't know why I said this is a Google Pixel. Where's that video? Let's find that fucking video. It's the funniest shit ever. Monkey rage baits dog. Yeah, here we go. Is this it? Is this it? Yeah, this is it, but it's cropped as shit. Okay, here's a better cropped one. I fucking love that. I fucking love it. He keeps fucking with it, and then he just goes like, that fucking dude. If I was that dog, I would be so fucking mad. I would fucking murder that poor little shit. Oh my god, that's funny. But one thing that at least I've felt personally this year is everything I've talked about. The world is getting worse at large. There's a few places that are improving, EU and China, but like my own country, US, is going downhill. Shit's getting bad. And despite that, this year has personally felt okay. It's felt pretty good. Shit has felt like going uphill for me. And this is the part of the video where it's swapped. This is the part where he kills you. This is the part where he kills you. This is the part where I kill you from Portal 2. But, is that from Portal 2? Portal 1. I think Portal 1 is... This is the part where he... Is that from Portal 2? I think it's from Portal 2.
I'll bet you're both dying to know what your big surprise is. Well,
Okay, that is from Portal 2. This is the part where I kill you. This is the part where he kills you. I fucking love that shit. And then you get the achievement from Steam that's like the part where he kills you. It's so fucking funny. Portal is such a good series. I think I beat Portal 1. I don't think I beat Portal 2. I think I beat Portal 1. I might have. I'm gonna play that shit when I finish recording. I love that fucking game. But or both games. I don't know if I played Portal 2. I remember playing Portal 1 a bunch because that would have been like 2 or 3 years ago. But it's a good game. But yeah, now let's get into you've heard me talk about my thoughts on the state of the world for some fucking reason. You've listened to me talk about that for 40 minutes. Thanks, I guess. I don't know. You probably worsened your own fucking life, and if you start having any schizo fucking shit beliefs like I do, then something wrong with you. But oh god. I opened Steam to look at Portal and then I closed it. But god. How has this year been for me? Oh my god, going all the way back to last January. Let's just speed run through my year. Last spring, I'm gonna go like by semester since I've just had, shit happen in each semester, and then a summer break where I didn't do fuck all because I had like online classes and that shit fucking sucked. But I'm a junior in college. I took a bunch of classes online over the summer because I wanted to be a good noodle and get my gen eds done and la 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 la, be responsible and shit. And it ended up fucking me because in the US you have FAFSA, which is a system where it decides how much government aid you get. It decides how much money you get from the federal government when you're in college. It's a wild system. I imagine it probably seems crazy to non-Americans, but basically you go to the government, you say, here is my personal information, here is my family member's personal information, here's how much money I have, here's how much money the people I know have, or not the people I know. You go, here's how much money I have, here's how much money my parents have, and how much money my parents make. And depending on the amount your parents make, that pretty much solely decides, like, if I were to say, like, on FAFSA, on the form for the last few years, when I've filled it out, I've basically said no income, and that's true. I don't have any income. And then I'll say, like, here's my mom's income, extremely low, like minimum wage, like 40 hours a week, single income household. Here's the household income of that house. And it'll be like, and then FAFSA has consistently given me the max amount of money, which is pretty cool. It's free money from the government, which helps pay for school. It doesn't pay for all of it, not by a fucking long shot. I'm paying about $4,000 a semester. That's about what it's been on average every year. Then what was I going to say? Like, you go to them, you say, this is the household income, then they pay your tuition, they pay a chunk of it. They give me $3,700 a semester, which is the max, because the max is $7,500 a year, I believe, and I get like half of that every semester. Or 7,500? I think that's right. I don't... something like that. I don't really remember, but somewhere in that ballpark is the most they give you every year, and I get that amount. I've gotten the most consistently. And you fill out that form. I can't remember how I got onto the topic of FAFSA. Oh yeah, because I took summer classes last summer, or this most recent summer, summer 25. I took 12 credits. All of them were online. Holy fuck, that sucked. That was fucking awful. It was not like constant work, but it was just fucking annoying, man. I gotta be honest. It was just, that shit annoyed me. But, it just cracked my back really good. But, then I got into, I did four classes. They were all 3 credits. I did, all of them were gen eds. I did my sociology gen ed. That was a weird one that was required as part of like the history section. Then you had, I can just look on my computer here. I have it. Please don't make me do like the 2-factor authentication. Don't make me do that bullshit. Please don't make me fucking... It'll be fine. It's just like a quick thing on my phone, but it's like, fuck you, you know? Every time I have to do the 2-factor authentication shit for my college, it just makes me feel like a fucking cuck. It feels horrible. It's the Charleston White clip where he's like, you walk in the strip club and you come in your pants and you walk home. You feel fucking terrible. That's what it feels like. That's actually what it feels like to go to fucking college, man. Oh, God. But, let's see. Let's go with... Let's close all this shit. Let's look through. Let's go through my courses. What did I take? It's all in the gen eds. I'll just open those two. Alright. I don't know why I said it like a fucking pirate. I'm stupid as shit. Let's see. I took World Lit 1 or World Lit 2 over the summer. That was really fun. I like that one. I kind of want to keep taking ones like that. It was pretty fun. It was a weird amount of reading, and it was spread out really weirdly because it was only like a month-long course, and the way it worked was like you just look on Canvas and it'd say like, read this for this week's assignment. And sometimes it would be like an article that was like a page, maybe 2, or like poetry that was like maybe, a few pages of poetry. And then like one of the, not the final, but like the next to last or somewhere close to the end, it was just like, read the entirety of Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. And that book, it's short, it's relatively short, but it's still like 60 fucking pages. And having that and just reading, oh yeah, you got to do this by tomorrow, I was just like, what? And I got through it. I think I can't remember if I did like Spark Notes or skimmed it or what, but I think I just skimmed through it. Because I think I tried to find a Spark Notes, but just couldn't, so I just fucking speed read it, and that fucking sucked. It was a fun class. I got out with an A, which, I'm pretty glad about. I like my English classes. I fuck with that shit. And then, yeah, I took the generic Com 201 Fundamentals of Speech. That shit fucking sucked. I fucking hated that class. I got a D in there. Fucking hated it. Everything about it just fucking sucked. And it's not because I'm a bad public speaker. I mean, I am, but, like, that's not why the class sucked. Like, the class sucked just because, oh my god, it was the weirdest fucking class of all time. It wasn't about actually being a good public speaker or being good at, like, talking to people, convincing people, that kind of shit. It wasn't a class on that. It was just a class on making shitty PowerPoints and talking over a weird point in them, and I probably should have failed that class, but I think the teacher just gave me a D to just let me get by, pretty much, and that's pretty cool. We got through it. We survived. We survived. But then what other one? Oh, I took my math gen ed, and I did it online. I did the only class I took at like my 4 year college was the no, not sociology. The fundamentals of speech course. I did that one at my main college, and then I took 9 credits at like a local. It's not too far from where I grew up. It's like probably about 10 miles from my house. There's a community college, and it's pretty good. I didn't think it was good. Dude, if you're a high schooler watching this, go to fucking community college. Don't be fucking dumb. It is. There's a very. In high school, there's a very big, like, social peer pressure to go to a 4 year college. And I think you should go for, like, some of the years that you're in college, you should go to a 4 year college. But go to community college, man. It's so much fucking cheaper. It's so much fucking cheaper. I don't think people in high school. First of all, if you're a high schooler watching this, you're a fucking idiot. I don't care if you're doing AP. I don't care if you've got a fucking 4.0 and you've got a 36 on the ACT and SAT and all that bullshit. You're a fucking idiot. You haven't lived in the real world. You haven't seen shit. You haven't taken any real courses that aren't just, can you memorize something and repeat it? And when you get to college, it's weird because the skill sets built by community college and 4 year college are roughly the same. Honestly, it just depends. And one thing you're going to realize when you get into college is oh God, how do I put this into words? Your teachers are the most important thing by far. If you have a class with a shitty teacher, it doesn't matter if it's your favorite subject in the world, you aren't gonna learn fucking anything. If you have a class with a shitty teacher, you aren't gonna fucking care. You aren't gonna understand anything. You're not gonna be clocked in. You're not gonna be enjoying it. You're gonna fucking hate it, and you're gonna be worse because of it. But if you find a class with a teacher you love that inspires you, it could be fucking Jamaican twerking 101. And it'd probably give you more value than anything else in your degree. And I didn't understand the whole group of people that are like, a degree is a sheet of paper. And I'm realizing now that, like, most of those people probably just had really bad teachers, because when I look at how much the teachers I've had in college have impacted me, oh my God. I truly believe it should be, like, fucking mandated for kids to go to college. It just should be required. But I think not even out of, like, create successful workers for the bourgeoisie or whatever the hell, but, like, you kind of just have to get out there and see that side of the world, because teachers are either the most miserable people you meet who are just working there for the government benefits and the tenure, or they're people who love what they do, are good at what they do, and pursued high degrees in what they do. So that means they really love it, and they're willing to spend money on it, and they're willing to spend time and their lives dedicated to it. And because of that, you see... oh, fuck, that burned. Don't know what that was, but... oh, fuck. But you meet people in college, you meet, like, teachers especially, but also students who are just so fucking dedicated and in love with what they do that it is absurd. And meeting that type of people, it makes you a better person. That's honestly the biggest benefit of college is, you know, there's the whole phrase of, like, you are your friend group. And I mean, that's true to an extent, but also, like, it's a little fucked up to, like, make that generalization across the board, because it's like, you know, people from shitty upbringings can become good people. We've seen that a lot in the last decade, like the whole, It's like a fucking trope now of like ending generational trauma and shit by being better for the future and shit. You get the idea. Like you know, your environment and circumstances don't define you, but it does confine what you understand about the world. And occasionally you see and meet people who are just so above it all, and I don't mean that in any real defining way about them as a person, but I mean, this is just a nebulous figure I'm making up. But occasionally you meet people when you go into a field. I'm in music too, so you meet people who fucking love what they do. It is like almost a prerequisite to succeed that you fucking love this shit. And occasionally you meet people like that who are so above it all. And I mean that in, you know, they aren't tied down by all the bullshit. They have their craft and they love it. And that's it. That's their life. It's that fucking simple. And meeting people like that, it is so fucking weird and also so like inspiring. Because I've met a few people in particular in, you know, the 3 years I've been in college now, where you meet these people who are just so in love with what they do. Some of them that I'm thinking of right now, I'm thinking of very specific people. Some of them are like educators, some of them are like students who are clearly going to go far in the industry. People who like, oh god, people who've like succeeded in the industry and come back to teach. People who teach while still doing shit on the side. It's insane. People fucking love this shit, man. And meeting people, if you're like me and you grew up in like shitty suburban sprawl, shitty people who don't care and are just working at the gas station until they die, it's people like that are just fucking they aren't bad people, but it enrages me to no end that like people like that exist, because like the world is so fucking beautiful and massive, and everyone has their passion, everyone has like what they wanted to be as a kid. And then you meet people who, you know, mostly due to like external life circumstances like money, like family shit, like poverty, homelessness, all this shit that's wrong in the country and in the world. And you meet these people who, because of that shit, are effectively forced to be like drones. And I didn't understand the whole like middle class or lower class like wage slave. I didn't understand it because, you know, I'm in education. I'm in music. I'm getting higher education. I'm getting a degree. Me real smart. I'm getting a degree and chasing my fucking dreams until I can't chase it no more. And meeting people who just never had the chance to do that, it's like seeing a ghost in human form. It is fucking insane. And it's some of the most harrowing shit to me, because meeting people, there's a few people from the gas station like that I went to as a kid who, it's the same like 9 or 10 people have worked at a gas station in my town. When I was a kid, I think I can say his name now just because he's been dead a while. There was this guy, Jack, who worked at the gas station that I went to as a kid. And, you know, people in my family have been buying gas there for like a decade because it was like close by. You get the idea. It's not, I mean, it's a fucking gas station. And, you know, stop there like a few times a month, get groceries, get like gas, get fucking Mountain Dew and Monsters out of the fucking fridge and shit. And there was this guy named Jack who had been working at that same gas station for probably about 50 years, maybe more. He had worked there damn near his whole life, didn't really have any aspirations. He'd been married a few times, you know, broke up, divorced, whatnot. And he lived in this apartment that was like right next to the gas station, like less than a block. Like even him as like a older man, you know, he could walk down from his apartment every day, walk to work, and then go home. And he did that every day for like 50 years. And then one day he got hit by a car and died. And he was a great guy. He was a genuinely kind man. Like even after years of not seeing the guy, You'd walk up to the gas station, he'd recognize you, he'd say hi, he'd talk to you, he'd ask how your family was doing. If he knew, like, back when when I was younger, my dad was, like, kind of ailing, you know, he was kind of sick. And he'd ask, oh, how's your dad doing, little guy? And seeing a guy that kind just forced into such a one-track, kind of sad life where he got up, went to work, went home. Got up, went to work, went home. Was in that same loop for damn near 50 years. And then one day he just died. And to think about the people in this country who... it's a fucking majority now who do that. And I feel like that was unconsciously one of the driving factors behind me going into such a liberal arts, do what I want, do what I love career of music career. Oh, God. But, and I mean, he was a great guy. There's nothing wrong with people who live like that. But he just... He was never really given a chance because, you know, whether by generational poverty, whether the 50 fucking alimonies he had to pay. It was just, and he was a great guy. He was an amazing man. But just seeing a man who lived such a down there life and then just dropped dead one day because of a fucking car, it freaked me the fuck out. And sitting here and thinking about it now in a more broad terms, it's fucking getting to me because, and that's what I mean when I mention like meeting people who are above it all, is you see that side of the world, you see the way people like that live, and there's nothing wrong with it. He was a great guy, amazing dude, but he was never given a chance to, you know, I don't know what his aspirations were. Probably no one did, because he just was a nice man who just got up, went to work every day. And nobody got to see his aspirations. Nobody got to really know the man. Because he just ended up as like this fucking wage slave factory guy. Who just, I mean, it was like a mechanical life where he just got up and worked every day. And, oh my God, it is fucking brutal to think about, like, living like that. And... you know, in music, I'm really, I think everyone in the world has this, like, that, got that dog in them to a degree of just, you know, you have the thing you love and you're gonna fucking chase it. But the world we live in doesn't give people that opportunity very often. And I'm really fucking lucky that I got it. You know, through various people in my life being like philanthropists and shit, and government aid, fucking family financial aid. Oh my God, aid from, like, you know, grandmother, aunt, and people who love me, just helping me get the life I want, and it's fucking beautiful, you know. But I can't remember how I got on this topic, and I think I've kind of shown the conclusion and shown where I wanted to go with this. God, it's just, I'm really fucking lucky to get to be in such a great field where, you know, there's a lot of fucking bullshit. There's a lot of companies, like big institutions, shit like that, taking advantage of people. It's insane. If you're a music person or any fine arts, any liberal arts person, you know what I mean when I say, like, you get fucking taken advantage of. They fucking work you. And what I mean by they is, like, any real work institutions, like, if I were to ever get a job at an orchestra, let's say, you know, chances are they'd ask you for a bunch of crazy bullshit, and they know you're going to say yes, because this is your dream job. This is what you want. And if you want to keep that, you better fucking work. And unfortunately, that's a very common thing, especially in art and animation and shit, way more so than in music. Like, in music it's a thing, but music is also still decentralized enough. It's not like art where, for massive works of art like movies, TV series and shit, you unfortunately do need, like, big studios of animators and shit. And that type of big shit leads to, being taken advantage of, like corporate greed and shit being more easy. And in music, one guy sitting on like, oh god, my freshman year in college, about 2 years and maybe a month or two ago, I went up to Nashville, and it was okay. It was a fine city. Wasn't great. Wasn't horrible. I went to New York this year, and it was fucking awesome. And I noticed that Nashville is very much like a diet New York. Like, it feels like New York, but every building got cut off on the third or fourth story, and it's funny. But I remember walking down the streets of Nashville with a group of friends. We were going to this event, and I remember passing by this little, like, real old black guy, and he had, like, the thing older people get when they get skinny, where, like, their bones become more visible, and they just look, like, spindly, And he was sitting there playing a guitar, just having a good time, sitting on a fucking chair, had a little hat where you could take money. And I remember seeing that and just seeing, like, damn, this is like, that's the life. That is what I want, Oh, my God. And it's cool to see that type of shit in the world. And music is decentralized like that, where, you can do that. With animation, you can kind of do that. Here, I'll show you this. I got this up in New York. I got this fucking painting of a subway, or like a train type shit. That's pretty cool. Paid $60 for it, which is a lot of money, but also it was like early on in the trip, and I had spent way less than I thought I would on like everything else. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I can spend money on something I want, and I've got it sitting like right on my desk. And because I'm a fucking autist retard, I love trains, and I fucking love looking at that thing. But that's pretty cool. I like that. I've got it sitting like I've got like a little side shelf thing that's got like rocks in jars, and like a few books and like some Lego plants on it. It's cool. But anyways, what was I saying? Like there's decentralized art like that, where that was just one woman sitting at a stall, just having painted some shit herself, and that, like, you can do decentralized art in that way, but it's very hard to make a living unless you're making porn, unless you're making fucking absurd boob shit on Twitter, like that's kind of the only way that a lot of people like that can make a living. Because even with how much I paid for that painting, like $60 is a fucking chunk of change, but it's not, that's not enough for a fucking apartment, even if she were to sell, like, especially not in Manhattan. Oh my god, she has to sell like 200 of those fucking things a day. And even then, she ain't making her fucking rent. Like, you get what I mean though, right? Like, doing art in a decentralized manner like that, where, it's just you. It's a small operation. That's not as big of a thing as it is in music. Because in music, the craft it's, you can measure the worth of like, that painting is beautiful, but what if there was a studio of animators that made like a fucking movie out of that type of shit in that style or whatever? Wouldn't happen, but like, it'd be cool, and it'd probably bring in significantly more money from people looking at it. And that's a one-time thing. That's a painting I got and nobody else will ever get. Nobody else will ever look at it, pay commission, pay for merch of it. That's not going to happen. And that's only something you can really get with like big art studios, big shit, big titles. Go buy One Piece merch. Go buy One Piece fucking hoodies or whatever. Go spend $9 trillion fucking dollars on a One Piece gas station bong. It's fucking absurd. But like, and that type of greed and consumer shit, it's insane. It's insane because it gives artists the ability to make a living, but it also takes advantage of them. It's weird. It's like the evil ass monster that like hand that feeds, but also hand that beats the fuck out of you. It's odd, and that happens in music, but to a lot less of an extent than it does in art, because art is a very hands-on. Art is probably the most hands-on fucking craft that there is. Music you're hands-on in, like, the early days where you're spending, like, hours a day practicing, improving, and then blah. And then eventually you hit a point where, like, professional orchestra players, if once they get their chops to, exceed what they need, and everyone needs a need. Fucking stupid. I am a fucking idiot. I'm such a fat fucking chud. You know that fucking video? That shit's funny. But, genuinely though, like, you look at professional orchestra players, and it's like, they're great players, but they spent the first, like, decade of their career grinding their skills to that level, and now they just kind of sit on their laurels and fucking coast until they're dead. And that's what a lot of music people do. And it sucks that that's kind of standard, but, like, whatever, But, or what I'm saying is, like, it's a lot less hands-on at that stage, where, like, you for, like, an hour a day, keep your fundamentals where they're at, or improve them a little bit, and then for, like, an hour a day, you focus on whatever bullshit concert master or fucking band teacher or whatever the hell wants you to play, and then you move on with your day, and you're fine. Ugh. But, how the fuck did I get on this topic? Holy shit. This was meant to be a video about how my year was going. Oh yeah, but with the painting, I went to New York this year. That was pretty fucking cool. That'll be the last thing I talk about, because I want this video to end on a high note. And also, that was, like, the last big event of the year. But, yeah, let's go back to earlier in the year. Oh yeah, the college courses. That's what I was talking about. That's how I got on it, was community college, then education in general, then people in music that inspire me, then the music industry, then the art industry, and then that painting, and then New York. Holy fuck, I'm stupid. Holy fuck, I have like some little demon in my head that fucking feeds me Tylenol and says Darius. No. Dude, the Darius stim that's like, no, when his mom cuts on the lights and it fucks with his eyes. Dude, I've been saying that shit so much. Just, like, it's the video of, like, Darius, get out of my bed. And he's just sitting in the bed, and when she flips the light on, he goes, like, no. It's so fucking... I fucking love that one. It's so good. Just, like, I'll be sitting there pissed off at something and go, like, no. Oh, my fucking... I've got my Steam Deck right now, and it fucking reopened Terraria. Hang on, I gotta close this shit. Okay, cool. But, college courses. Already talked about I keep saying sociology, but I don't mean it. Speech. Already talked about... Maybe I do need a fucking speech class, because I'm sitting here going like... The speech class fucking sucked. The math class, yeah, that shit. I took math, sociology, and English class at a community college, the one that's like fucking 10 miles from my house. I wish I took them in person, honestly, because... I wish... I think it'd be fun to, like, once I get out of college and get into, like, grad school. Nah. But then I get into, like, working world and shit with music. I think it'd be nice to still take, like, college classes like that in person every now and then. That'd be fun. But, God. Yeah, took, finite mathematics, because in my head, finite mathematics at a community college was the single easiest thing I could do. The class still almost fucked me. I got a C, I passed, I got by, I got my math credit. I don't fucking care. I'm free. Yeah, that class fucked me up. That class scared the shit out of me. Oh my god, math is fucking hard. I'm stupid. I am stupid as fuck. I want you to understand that. I am a fucking idiot. I am a nincompoop. I am and I still got by. And I fucking hated math. I am so glad. I don't think I will ever have to take a math course ever again. Unless, let me Google something. Do masters in music performance. I'm just going to click on the first result and find the courses. Alright, let's see. But, I just want to read, like, what are the, or no, graduate programs. Yeah, yeah. Academic program directory? What the fuck is this? Music composition, music education, performance. Here we go. Music performance graduate catalog. Where do I view? Holy fuck, I feel like I'm running. I fucking hate college websites. I just clicked on a random website, it showed a college in my state. And I've already scrolled through the same fucking hyperlink like 20 fucking times. I fucking hate Googling shit for college. Because the thing with college websites is they want to show that they're well made, so that way you give them your fucking money. And it fucking sucks that, like, you Google the name of a college, you look at information, and then you scroll through, you go through whatever, and it's just like, oh my fucking god, you know? It's just fucking awful. Here we go. Program structure. Alright, let's see. Core studies, bibliography and research, music history and analytical techniques. Okay. Free elective, guided elective in related field, 3 credits. Then 20 credits of specialization courses, private instruction, graduate graduate recital, ensemble, literature. Huh. Okay, let's see. For more information... Alright, this page doesn't seem to exist, 404. Okay, fuck you. This is why, like, if you're ever applying to a college, you know what I mean when, like, college websites are just fluffed up and full of bullshit enough that, like, they appear big and shiny to stupid fucking high schoolers who don't know what they're looking for. But then you get to, like, then you get old and crotchety and you know what you're fucking doing. And it becomes, like, damn near impossible to find anything on any website because it's like, oh, college websites are good at showing you random bullshit you didn't know you need when you're a high schooler and stupid. But if you're, like, a college student who knows what they're fucking doing, it is genuinely impossible to find any information online. But, yeah. And this isn't even to answer a crazy-ass question. It's just, like, I just want to know how much, like, do I have any general education courses in my future? And God forbid I come into college worth millions of dollars. I don't even know the exact net worth of this college. Like, I've scrolled through a few college websites at this point. I'm just scrolling through Google, just going top to bottom and just scrolling through them. And there's, like, 20 fucking results. I'm on result, like, 8 at this point. Let's see. Academics. Graduate. Master's degrees? Yes. Music performance. MM. Master of Music. Resources. Suggested. Did we find it? We found it. Ladies and gentlemen, the first college to show just a list of the curriculum is University of Georgia. That is on result 8? Maybe 7? Holy shit. First one to have it accessible. Shout out University of Georgia. That's how you know, like, to be honest, I'm fucking shocked because, like, every college's UI is so shit and just so fucking horrible to, like, find your way through. And finding a college with good UI, it's like, what? You know, it's so fucking shocking. Alright, let's see. Requirements, MM and performance brass. That's what I would be getting. Performance brass. And I'm assuming every college has roughly the same, because they're all colleges with music degrees are accredited by this thing called NASM. I don't remember the exact acronym. Something National Accredited Schools of Music, something like that, something to that effect. But basically they say this is good college, this is bad college. And you want shit that is NASM accredited because that means that it works and functions. And everything that isn't NASM accredited is just like, But let's see. Major area of concentration. Applied instruction, 9 credit hours. Master's recital, 2 hours. Let's see. 2 recitals are required, 1 credit each. One must have a chamber emphasis. Okay, so like ensemble recital. That's cool. Ensemble, 2 hours. Other studies in music, theory/history core, 9 hours. 1 through 1 3-hour theory class and a minimum of 1 3-hour history or ethnomusicology class. That's cool. And then literature of instrument, music, 6280. 2 hours. Okay, so just scrolling through the... Damn, this shit kind of looks sick as fuck, not gonna lie. And then 6 credit hours of just music electives. Okay, 30 credit hours for a degree is fucking nothing, by the way. Like, no disrespect, but... Oh my god, 30 credit hours. Bro, my degree is 120. And by the time I get out, I'm probably gonna have, like... I'm already at 120 credits in, like, my degree registry. And I've still got, like, a year and a half of bullshit. So I'm probably going to have... Or no, I've only got a year because the registry count also shows this spring's registration. So by the time I'm out, I'm going to have, like, 150 fucking credits. That is insane, man. I'm probably going to have, like... See, I want to get 18 credits because they have the banded tuition where everything under 20 credits is banded, or everything under 19 credits. So 18 credits down to like 12 or 10 credits is banded as full-time. So you pay the same tuition no matter what. So that means I get to take crazy bullshit and I get to have free classes effectively. Not free, but mostly bundled together in cost. And I like that, and I want that. And that'd be pretty cool to have. So, yeah, I'm gonna, I've kind of, and also because of the FAFSA full-time funding shit, I've got to have my credit hours spaced out. And that was why I started talking about summer classes, by the way, because I'll never remember to conclude that point, was FAFSA in the U.S., you have to take a minimum of 12 credit hours to get your government money, which is fucked up. If that government money is promised to all college students, should be given regardless of the number of hours or regardless of the field in which those hours are in. That's my personal opinion, but I can see, there's cases of people taking advantage of it. My teacher, because I was talking to him about it, because we had to work out a schedule that would get me my hours allotted, and I asked him, like, why is this, do you know? And he was like, some people would take, like, 12 credits of, like, school gym and have it, like, paid for. And, I agree to an extent. There are college courses that are complete bullshit, stupid shit. But I think all education, even stupid shit that I don't get value out of, should be, included. I mean, because once we get, like, especially when the federal government is choosing certain courses to value over the other, that's a pretty quick way to end up with, like, all liberal arts degrees are fucking nothing. Go learn welding like a true fucking patriot, that type of fucking dipshit. But, that's just my personal... I honestly, I could see why you'd believe it the other way, but no, not for me. But, yeah. But, the summer courses I took, they were all pretty fun, but taking 12 credits over the summer immediately after a very strenuous spring semester, because strenuous spring semester, it goes together well, because all three of them alliteration, but that's cool. But my spring semester, it fucking sucked. Strenuous spring semester that sucked super stupidly badly. Stupid, I don't know. And I'm a fucking stupid. There you go. There's more alliteration for you. But My spring semester, it was fucking awful, because halfway through, right before our spring concert, more alliteration, but I like how it's the same like 3 or 4 words, and I just fucking count it. Fucking stupid people, man. Me stupid, you know. But that spring 2025, my grandmother, she woke me up like once weekend when I just was luckily happened to be at home. She woke me up. She was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to the ER. I can't breathe," and we ended up going down there, and she ended up having to stay for a week. And I didn't. We still don't have like a conclusive diagnosis of what exactly caused her issues, but she couldn't breathe, and that was caused by her heart like was in fucking 10 times overdrive and was pushing fluid into her lungs. And apparently that's the thing when you can't breathe. She couldn't breathe, and also she had like low blood. She like they said that over like the trip to the hospital, overnight they had given her like 4 units of blood, and it just kept draining. But she didn't have an internal bleed. So solve that fucking mystery. I don't know, but they kept giving her blood, and apparently she just didn't have enough in her, and they would give her blood, it would just drain. And when they were giving her blood, her heart rate was fucking absurd. It was like consistently at 140, which is if for a 75-year-old woman who is 5'1", like to put in perspective, like healthy heart rate 75-year-old woman between 60 and 100. So she was fucking well above that. And it was fucking scary. Her heart rate was, and I mean like resting heart rate was at like 140, and at points it got up to like 220. That was fucking horrifying. That was the highest it got, was right at 220, and eventually it came back down. But it was still sitting high pretty much the whole time we were there. Yeah, it was fucking terrifying. Her heart was in fucking overdrive, and it wasn't a heart attack, but it was just beating in fucking overdrive to compensate for the lack of blood. And they gave her the blood, and she started feeling better, and she ended up having to stay about a week. And one of the most horrifying things you're going to learn in America is this is, frankly, third world healthcare. I don't mean the whole, oh, it's so expensive. Yeah, man. You know, that's true. Healthcare is fucking expensive. It sucks. It's part of America. It fucking sucks. And it's true. But also, healthcare in the U.S. is so fucking incompetent. It is, frankly, they almost killed her. The people in that hospital, their sheer fucking incompetence. Multiple times, nurses, doctors having no idea about the patients they're taking care of, having no idea people who have never met my grandmother changing medications, people who have never talked to her about other people who realistically don't even know her prior diagnoses, just being like, oh, what? Yeah, we're going to give you this blood thinner and get rid of that one. Frankly, it is a fucking miracle that the people in that hospital haven't killed someone. One thing that I kind of got a kick out of that is not a good thing, but about a month after my grandmother got out, someone got arrested for like apparently like taking a fucking like metal like cake pan and fucking caving it at one of the nurses. And that sounds horrible, and you can tell I'm kind of laughing at it, but these are fucking incompetent people making a shitload of money. And seeing shitty people who, are going to get you killed. Like, if you live long enough, this is how you're going to die, is the fucking incompetence in the medical field in this country. This is what will kill you. This is what will kill your grandparents, your parents, your family, your siblings, everyone around you, unless they are just killed on the street or die lucky in their sleep. Rhyme? Alliteration. Fucking idiot. But, like, unless you are one of the 10, 20% who die outside of a hospital, you're going to die horrifically because of these people's fucking stupidity. And it is simultaneously like the most horrifying shit and the most like dark comedy shit, because there's nothing you can do but or like if as an American, this is how the system is pretty much across the board. Even if you go to the best healthcare, best hospital, best doctors in the country, they're still fucking idiots. They're still fucking stupid. They're still this fucking dumb. They're still this fucking brain rotted and shit at their jobs that they're going to kill you. And it is fucking absurd. And really the only options if you're in the US is just effectively just hope to God you don't get sick ever. Hope to God you don't get any fucking thing beyond like the flu. If you get anything worse than that, you're fucked. You are fully fucked. Because God forbid you get anything that will kill you, because like doctors aren't going to stop it. They're too fucking busy. Their workloads are too high. Their wages are too low. They're too fucking dumb to get anything done properly. It is fucking ridiculous. But seeing my grandmother go through that trials and tribulations of the fucking healthcare system, it is frankly, I remember telling her like very matter-of-factly when she went to the hospital, like a few weeks after she got out, I asked her, like, where are we going to go next time this happens? Because, this hospital, I mean, she was very lucky. She likely would have survived without intervention. But, playing hot and loose with your fucking health and a heart rate of 200, you can't play off luck with that. And that's what we were doing effectively, because even with seeking medical treatment, these people are so fucking incompetent that you're effectively just playing lucky if you get like you're fucking spinning a roulette wheel if that is like, if you bet it all on red, you're gonna fucking die. If you bet it all on black, you're gonna fucking die. The question is just like, are they gonna kill you outright, or are they gonna send you home and you're gonna wither away and rot for however many years they give you? And it fucking sucks that that's what our country is. Privatized healthcare is to blame to an extent, but private or public, it's still fucking dog shit. They still aren't paying. My grandmother gets Medicare and shit because she's older. And granted to them, credit to them, they did pay the majority, or I think they just outright paid all of her healthcare for that trip. Is that what I said? For that trip. I think I combined trip and stay. Like, for that trip, she didn't have to pay anything out of pocket. But, thanks for not making me pay out of pocket for getting my fucking dick smacked with a hammer, But, it was scary. It was fucking terrifying to watch it in action, because if you're like me and you're young, you've been on the internet, you know how much everyone fucking hates billionaires, privatized healthcare, and the general system of the US. We all fucking hate it. It's a fact of life. But you don't see it in person. You don't see that shit until you get older, until you start seeing people around you get older, start having preliminary? What the fuck? I think there's like an owl in the bush outside my house. I just heard the weirdest fucking like howling. It was like howling and then the sound of an owl hooting. What the fuck, man? I live in a fucking Silent Hill village. But anyways, like when you're as young as I am, you know how evil and fucked up the healthcare system is. You know it on a paper level. But then you see it in person. You see the incompetence. You see the malice of this fucking country. And seeing it on full display, like, like that. But like when you're living in this country, you see the evil of it. You see the fucking hatred of it. And going through something like that, watching a kind elderly woman who worked in this hospital, by the way, I didn't mention that detail. She worked in the hospital we went to. She was a nurse for 45 fucking years, and they almost killed her. Her own fucking cur worker, her own fucking cur wokers, because they're the liberals. Like her own fucking co-workers almost killed her. And it is absurd. We live in a society, but no, I mean genuinely, these people almost killed my grandmother, and the reality is, if you live long enough, they'll almost kill you. If you live long enough, they eventually will kill you, and this is going to happen to all of us. Every single American watching this, I'm speaking English with an American accent. Chances are 90% of the people watching this are American. If you live in America or any other Western country, honestly, I think this is a solely American problem, because British people, I mean, I fucking hate it when British people complain about the NHS, because like, oh, that's lovely. You don't have to. Oh, boo-hoo, a fucking wait line, bro. People get shot and then go home because they don't want to like scare their families. Like they don't want to scare their families with a medical bill. If you're British and complaining about healthcare, fucking kill yourself. I fucking hate you. Like, genuinely, if you're British and complaining about that shit, I hope you blow your fucking brains out. I hate your goddamn guts. Because I don't know how competent British doctors are, but I know they're cheaper than American doctors. I know they won't fucking kill you and leave you with a bill. I fucking hate this country. And because this country, it's weird. America is a country full of the kindest, most lighthearted people you'll ever meet, and the government is actively trying to kill them, actively fucking them over. It's like Dark Souls. Like it's a country full of Knights Solaire. It's full of kind, loving people. And, despite news and shit, American people are more paranoid just because of the fucking world that we've been forced into, where like you get in your car, you don't see anyone other than your coworkers, and then you go home. You know, that's what 90% of the country is like, paranoid, and that's why insane conservatives can win, is because they play on that paranoia that's kind of lurking in every American's heart. But other than like paranoia aside, 90% of Americans are great, caring people, and we're living in a fucking Dark Souls map that plays off of like the 1% of evil in our brain and shit, and we live in fucking hell. It fucking sucks to live here. A lot of people called America, land of opportunity, this and that, and I think parts of it are. When I went to New York about a month ago, seeing a part of the country that is like so steadfast in everything about it, so much better than the parts of the country where I'm from, it fucking broke me, man. And coming back to my like hometown and just seeing just like the American fucking rot of it, just seeing the fucking bleeding heart of this goddamn country, it fucking changed me, man. It'd make me start using Twitter and talking about Che Guevara. But genuinely, like, seeing a part of the country that cares about its people, seeing a part of the country that treats its people well, it fucked with my head, because coming back home to my state, it's fucking sad, because it's not a fully Democrat versus Republican, but it's mostly split down party lines. But 90% of Republican governments do not care about you and will actively show it. 90% of Democrat governments don't care about you but will pretend for the camera. That's at least my perception of it. And seeing a government, like when we went to New York, just seeing a government that pretends to care about the people, and I know Eric Adams is like a fucking Turkish shill or whatever all that was, but even then, seeing how even in the worst of it, in a government that's actively hated up there with Eric, just seeing a state that cares, it fucking got me. It fucking broke me, man. Because we could have that. My own, all of the people, all 300 million countrymen, all of us could have this if we just set aside the fucking greed, set aside the bullshit, and just make healthcare, make it public, make it highly fucking scrutinized, because healthcare, somehow healthcare isn't scrutinized enough, because, like, you know, no offense, like, if you're a doctor and you're doing good work, good for you, but, like, I think every doctor and nurse in this fucking country should have like 10 people breathing down their backs to do it fucking perfect. Because if they fuck up, you're dead. Like, this isn't like Starbucks where like those fucking baristas run it like a goddamn military boat. It's like these hospitals are fucking idiots, incompetent, stupid fucking people killing us. And you're telling me, like, I've never once at like the Starbucks in my fucking college town shit. Every time I've been there, drink has been fucking immaculate. Nothing wrong. Absolutely perfect. If I can go to a hospital and get worse care than a fucking $7 an hour coffee, what the fuck? It's hard. See, I disagree with like people who take domestic terror and shit, and people who attack healthcare workers and shit like that. That's a real phenomenon. Healthcare workers get like shot at all the time because, oh, my relative died in the hospital. These people did that, and those people did do that. They did kill your family. They did. It's just objectively the case. But like, you know, fucking like fucking Salamanca, blood for blood, that's not going to do anything. You know, I mean, it's not going to fix it. Your family's still gone. And that's why you see people like the Unabomber who fucking bombed hospitals and shit. And hell, fucking Heath Ledger bombed a hospital. And I'm bidding now, but like, genuinely, like, a lot of people have fucking shot at healthcare workers because they lost a family member to incompetence. And I can't really say I blame those people because they're not educated enough, they're not rich enough to make any systemic change. So they do what they can. And, you know, I can't endorse that. That's a horrible fucking thing to do. But, like, if those people fucking killed my grandmother, which they came pretty fucking close to doing, if she had been 20% worse in her health, she would have died. It's just true. They would have killed her. Their sheer fucking incompetence would have killed her. And, you know, I'm not saying I'd fucking take any action, but I probably would take them to court. I probably would take them to court and air out their names on fucking everything, every platform I could, air out every individual name. I wouldn't do any fucking insane action like that. But I'm not a schizophrenic. I'm not some fucking out there cuckoo loony bin retard who's gonna blow up a hospital at the first, like, inconvenience. But there's people out there who are and who will do that. And the longer that we have an incompetent healthcare system, the more crazy shit is going to happen. The more stupid shit is going to happen. The more innocent people are going to die. And I've ran on this fucking healthcare rant long enough. That it doesn't deserve any more space in my fucking brain. But I hope you understand what I mean, though. This isn't a call to action in any manner. Actually, it's a call to action to go to your local senator, go to your local courthouse, go to your local anything, and just ask for, like, third-party reviews of your healthcare system, of your town's hospitals, of your town's healthcare. Just ask for a third-party, unbiased review of, say, I don't know. I honestly don't know if that's a thing. I don't know if that's real. But just, hell, do everything you can to show how a hospital treats people. Because I know that, like, the hospital here is pretty fucking bad. I know every part of this hospital is fucking terrible. And, I mean, frankly, it's killing people. I don't know the fucking numbers. I don't know the death toll of that fucking hospital. But it's definitely killed people with incompetence. Because, I mean, frankly, a 70-year-old with Medicaid who's a coworker, that's like, that's like peak care you're gonna get out of that hospital. What about is also white woman? You know, she's gonna get better care. If I'm like a 25-year-old black guy with no health insurance, oh, you're not making it out of that fucking building. You're not getting out. It's not gonna happen. Like, it's insane. And you know, I'm not saying that inherent racial discrimination is like there in healthcare shit, but like it's there in the people who do it because they're human. Humans, especially in this part of the country, are racist. I mean, it's statistically it's a thing, and oh my god, I can't imagine like I'm white. Like if I'm a fucking white with money, and I'm having to deal with this shit, I can't fucking imagine what like some poor fucking black guy has to deal with. Oh my god, it must be genuinely cartoonishly evil. I don't want to fucking think about it because you know, first because that shows like the inherent evil of it, but I mean, this shit is evil and horrible, and this country fucking sucks. I've gone on about that long enough. It's I mean, we live in a horrible country, and I hope people watching this from abroad, people watching this from the EU in particular, next time you want to complain about your healthcare in the EU, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Like, and even me sitting here bitching and moaning, there's some guy right now in like fucking Equatorial Guinea who is like not having, because Americans, we have access to decent treatment. I mean, on paper we do. Like, we have shiny tools and shit, but we have fucking idiots running the machines. And I mean, I think the only thing that would make just my grandmother's stay at the hospital worse is if we had the same people but a worse, like, what would the term be? Like, worse resources, if that makes sense. Like money, financial shit, big fancy tools to do tests and scans and whatnot. You know, that would be the only thing that, like, God forbid you're a fucking person in Gaza. Does Gaza have health insurance? That'd be because they have hospitals, so like, it's an interesting question. I wonder. Let's Google universal healthcare. Universal healthcare map. Let's Google it. Let's see. All right, red is. Let's see. Okay, pretty much. Oh my god, the entire EU has it. Pretty much all of Asia except for. Hang on, let me. Oh my god, it's a fucking image file and not an actual. Fuck you, bitch. Okay, here we go. What does 50%? Okay, so. Oh my god. So it's predominantly Africa and like India, like the Indian subcontinent, that whole region that is fully uninsured healthcare type shit. Damn. It looks like pretty much the entire EU has universal coverage. Let's see. The entire EU has universal. Russia has damn, really? You'd think a country that conservative wouldn't have universal healthcare. That's crazy, man. So does China. So does Iran. Damn. I feel like any country making propaganda to like make their citizens dislike the U.S. They don't even have to make propaganda. They can just let the facts fucking speak for themselves. It is fucking sad to see. We're fucked. Our country is absolutely fucked. But let's move on. What was I talking about? What was I going to tell you all about? It's fucking stupid. But yeah, that was an experience. That was the week of like our spring concert in college band. And so that whole week I was just at home waiting, basically just sitting with the car for like if my grandmother needed me, I'd go visit her every day. it was fucking, it was hard. But that whole week I was at home. Oh my god, I spent like $200 fucking on Uber and like Domino's and shit just sitting at the house. I learned during that I'm like a big stress eater. I didn't think I was, but I realized I just hadn't gone through anything like that type of stress. And then I'd get home and I'd fucking pound back like a 28-inch pizza. Oh my god, I am a fucking big back. Oh my god. But yeah, that fucking sucked. But what was I gonna tell you guys about? Yeah, that whole thing happened. Then like the same week, I had to go back up to my college for the concert. That fucking sucked. It was the spring concert. Then we played the songs and shit. Then we went home. Then I immediately went back home, and then oh god. Then like a week later was spring break, so I got to, spend that week at home too. I had like 1 week of classes where I had to stay up there, and then the next week I immediately went back home and was just keeping an eye on my grandmother. And she ended up recovering. She's doing great now. She's going to have to be on a blood thinner for the rest of her life. They don't think that's what caused all of the issues. They just noticed that like her blood was also running a bit thicker than normal, so they had to give her a blood thinner because they thought it might clot. Yeah, that was the whole thing. But they gave her blood thinner, and she can't be on like generic aspirin or Tylenol blood thinner because of some conflict with some other medication she's taking. I don't know the exact detail of it, but she had like some conflict with her two medications, so she has some heart medication she has to take, and then she has to take another form of blood thinner called Eliquis, which is one of the most expensive. We're talking like on par with insulin type expensive. It is fucking insane. She at one point was spending like $500 a month on this shit, and Trump is a horrible fucking president, but one thing he did that is good is he put price cap on it at $250, which is cool. I don't know if that was, I just heard that from my uncle, and he's kind of a far right type, so I don't know if that's true. If it is true, thanks for that. You're still a dickhead. If it's not true and it's like, it turns out to be bullshit, fuck you. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, she's had to be on Eliquis. She's realistically going to be on it for the rest of her life. And this is what living in a country without universal free healthcare does for you, is, first it tries to kill you with incompetence, and then it tries to kill you with the cost. Oh, fuck, I tried to burp into the camera for a bit, and then fucking acid. It fucking burned. But, then immediately, because this was like a month before I got out of school for the year, like about a month before I got out, and then got out, took the summer classes, and I signed up for the classes before I knew how stressful that, like, before I had to deal with all that shit with my grandmother and had to help her out with that. Just because, God, what am I trying to say? Like, I signed up for the classes not knowing the shit I was about to go through, and then I went through that shitty-ass fucking event that was horrible. Had a pretty bad semester, then had another semester on top of that in the middle of the summer, and a lot of people talk about college like it's not hard, like it's not a job or whatever, but it's fucking difficult, man. Like, I'm sure there's some guy watching this on a fucking oil rig while doing a 90-hour week before getting like fucking shot in the head by John Oil and thrown into fucking Deepwater Horizon. I'm sorry, bud, but like, this shit sucked too. I mean, it's all relative. Like, my events don't suck any more than some guy on the oil rig right now, But we can all have a shitty time, But with college, it's such a like fucking heavy workload, especially for music college, where so much of your degree isn't classes but is just practice, and there's no real accounting for that because, well, it's a 4-year degree. You got to have 120 credits in 4 years, so you end up yeah, I could go on this rant for fucking forever, but like, college is hard and it's a pain in the ass as well. So there you go. There's something for that. But God, life is hard, man. But the like having summer classes immediately after that horrible shit just didn't really give me too much room to breathe, calm down, get over all this shit, and move on with my day. Didn't really give me any room in that way, in that like issue. But what else? And then the summer classes happened, and then this fall semester happened. Oh my god, this semester was hell on earth. It was from literally day one of band camp up until the end of the year. It was just nonstop fucking work, nonstop college work, nonstop playing, nonstop fucking bah, 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 bah. It was 5 trillion fucking hours. It fucking sucked. It was awful. It took forever. It was hard. It was fucking doo doo. And oh god, it fucking sucked. And you know, because of the New York trip, our college, we went up to New York. We played in a thing up there. I'm not going to say what it is because you will definitely be able to find me if you know what it is. But or no, there's a couple colleges from the region that went up, so I think it's hidden enough that you probably couldn't find me as an individual, but you could narrow it down to a group of like a little bit over 1,000 people. But yeah, I'm not trying to dox myself, so I'm not going to give any more detail than that. But we went up to New York, and we knew we were going up to New York. We knew for like the whole year, and because of that, because we knew we were going up there, it was very constant work because it was like you're going to look your fucking best for the TV, for the computer. And oh my god, it was like constant fucking work. It was it fucking sucked. It was fucking awful. Band became a way longer days, way higher expectations, way more bullshit, way more fucking issues, lower pay too. My scholarship was $1,650, then it went down to $1,450 this year. Everyone's went down. Literally everyone's went down like $100, $200. Why? Fuck you. And yeah, it fucking sucked. We were doing more work for significantly less pay, and it was fucking awful. It fucking sucked. Everything about it was a fucking nightmare, and everything about it was just a pain in the fucking ass. And we got done with the semester, and the last bit of the semester, we went to New York. It was like the last month, and the last thing I had to do after we got back from New York was like one exam or some shit like that, like a couple exams and nothing else. But or it was like an exam and a presentation or some shit like that. It was fucking nothing. And god, it was so easy once I got back to just chill the fuck out. But I'll have to look on Musiscore and see what my final project for one of my music classes was, because I want to see how it turned out, you know. Because let me go. No, I'm gonna open it, but like for me, I'm not gonna open it and talk about it. I'm just gonna have it open in the background. Oh, there you go. That one was good and it didn't burn, so that's better. But New York was pretty cool. New York was pretty crazy. Getting to see a city that like cares about its people and is just such a better, kind fucking place compared to the South. Oh my god, it was literally pure fucking heaven on earth. And I know New York is kind of like an extreme example of this is the greatest city in the country, depending on what metric you use, like top 5 cities in the world. And it was so fucking cool. It was so fucking awesome. It was so fucking great. And oh god. Ooh. Anyone who's thinking about moving to the U.S., move to New York. There's nowhere better. It is the best city in the country by a fucking long shot. Of the cities, I've been to a lot of the big metros. The only ones I haven't been to are ones on the West Coast. So Vegas, Phoenix, San Antonio, all that. Everything west of like Texas, I haven't been to. I've have I been to Texas? I don't think so. I went to Louisiana one time. Went pretty close. I can't remember if I've been to Texas or not, but I've been to most of the big metro areas on the east like half of the country, and all of them are so fucking cool. And New York is by far it's the fucking jewel of this country. It is fucking beautiful. Um, and I have to say, it's like if you're picking a place to live in the U.S., go with a metro area. Don't live in the suburbs. Rural is okay, you know. I prefer rural to suburbs, but even then, it's just you can't beat a big ass city. You just can't. And New York is the winner of that fucking category. And because I've been to God, where all have I been? I already mentioned Nashville. Been to Nashville, Atlanta, Miami, Orlando, fucking New Orleans. New Orleans architecture was cool. Like the human condition of it was very sad. There were a lot of homeless people, like a lot of fucking homeless people. And I don't know, it was cool architecture, but it was very clear the city didn't care about the people. But Nashville, Diet New York, just a small metro. The downtown was pretty cool in Nashville. We got a lot of old churches. I noticed like a lot of old churches. All of them are like a couple 100 years old, and that's pretty cool. But God, what other big metros have I been to? Birmingham. It's cool if you like historical shit, because going through there and seeing like, oh yeah, MLK's been here. You know, that's pretty cool and shit like that. Where else? Miami. Have I? Oh, I'm thinking of Orlando. Shit. I haven't been to Miami. No, I don't think I have anyway. But I've been to Orlando. It was all right. I didn't really care for it. It was all right. You know, if you don't care about theme parks, there's not very much to do in Orlando. But let's see. Atlanta is the coolest city in the South, I think, and that's why it's growing like a fucking cancer right now. It's growing like fucking crazy. But Atlanta's pretty cool. I think I prefer Nashville to Atlanta. They're both all right. Atlanta, I think I like the surroundings more in Atlanta because there's like trees and shit. When you look at Nashville's surroundings, it's just like shitty suburbs, a fucking mall. It's like this shit sucks, you know. I don't think I've been to Memphis. I think I went one time when I was a kid or something like that, but I'm talking about like as an adult been there, and yeah, I haven't been to Memphis. But where else have I been? I've been to somewhere in South Carolina. I've been to South Carolina a couple times because when my brother was in the army, we had to pass through like that whole fucking state. Because apparently there's some like training place in the army there in South Carolina, and that was where he got sent during like basic training, and then he ended up getting sent to a base in Georgia. And oh god, him being in the army was like a whole fucking arc of his life. And that's a story for another day. But we went to one of the whatever the big city is in South Carolina. I'm gonna Google this because I remember it was like their big city, and I can't remember the name of it. What the fuck? Columbia, South Carolina. That's where it was. Because there was Charleston, Greenville, and I'm just looking at the wiki listing cities there. So we have Greenville, Columbia, Charleston, Spartanburg. That is a crazy fucking name. Myrtle Beach, Hilton, Florence, Sumter. And that's like 4 million people is the metro area combination, like combined population. Damn. But yeah, went to South Carolina, went to Columbia for my brother's army graduation thing. That was a fun moment, but it was cool getting to travel. I was young enough that I didn't really give a shit, but it was like, it was all right, you know. Then on the trip to New York, we passed through fucking everywhere. I don't think I've been to North Carolina. I might have been. Yeah, because on the way back, no, because on the way back from New York, we stopped in Virginia a bunch of times, and I think I can't remember if we passed through North Carolina at any point or not. I don't think we did. So yeah, I've been to the entire East Coast except for anything past New York. So like no Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. Where else? New Hampshire and Vermont are. I mean, they're not on the coast, so fuck you. But and then Maine. So yeah, like 5 states on the East Coast I haven't been to, but yeah, East Coast fucking rules. I think that'll be like the big vacation when I graduate from undergrad is like a road trip to the West Coast because I want to get to see the West Coast. You know, get to see around there because I mean I've seen practically the entire East Coast at this point. I haven't seen the Midwest. That'll be a good one. That'll be good to see. Um, that might be a good trip too for like summer because I graduate in next May. Oh fuck! I mean, graduate May 27. So, damn, that's crazy. It'll be fun to do like a graduation road trip type deal. I need to look at getting a car soon because for grad school I'm just gonna have to have one. So, within the next like 6 months, I'm gonna have to get one, and just because for auditions and shit for grad school, I'm gonna have to. What's the term? Like first, I'm gonna have to find a school within a couple 100 miles of me, so that it's within range of like coming home for the weekend to keep an eye on my grandmother. Oh, there you go. There's a little thought, but oh God. Tell you what, man, life is fucking hard, but I've been having to deal with a lot of life shit recently. But anyways, what I was, I think for like trip plans in the future, let me Google something. Road trip cost. I'm just gonna type in. Let's do coast to coast. I think the closest like coastline to me would probably be like the maybe east coast of Georgia or Florida. Or oh, I forgot about the Gulf. Road trip cost. Let's go with Savannah, Georgia. To let's just fuck it, ball out, and let's just go with Los Angeles. Angeles, California. Let's Google road trip cost. Let's see, 35-hour drive. Okay, 35 hours. That's like what? 3 days of driving because I'm gonna have to sleep and shit. 3 days each way. 35 hours. How many miles? 2,429. Let's go with average fuel economy, 20 miles a gallon, let's say. That's high, but like, okay, 2,429 divided by 20 is 121.45. Let's go with average cost of gas. Yeah, cost of gas. Fucking idiot. Let's just go with $3 a gallon. Let's go with $3.25. Yeah. $394. Okay, $400, and let's just assume I sleep in whatever car I end up getting because I'm not gonna pay for a fucking hotel. What do you think I am, made of money? God, but that'll be cool. Yeah, fuck it. I need to plan out a road trip. That'll be fun. I think if I plan out a road trip, I'd like it to be. Oh God, I wanna pass. Tell you what. I don't. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really give a shit about seeing Los Angeles. I don't really care about it. I just picked it because big West Coast city. Tell you what. Let's go with cities I would care about seeing. Portland, Seattle, Chicago, Madison, Minneapolis. What are some other ones? San Francisco. San Francisco would be cool. Vegas. Vegas would be a fucking good one. Where else? Don't really care about any of the East Coast metros because I've already been to all of them. What are some other ones? I'm just scrolling on Google Maps right now. St. Louis, fuck no, I'm not trying to get murdered. Denver would be a good. Salt Lake City, damn. I think I'm gonna, when I get done recording, I'm gonna plan out like a coast to coast road trip, and I picked Savannah as a random starting point, but yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, because I mean it's not. I mean, it's a lot of money, you know, $400 on gas each way. That's a fucking lot, but like, it's not so much that it would be entirely prohibited. It's a lot of money, but also like, I've spent like $4,000 a semester on my degree. Do you know how much fucking money? That is absurd. Oh my god. That I'm gonna pause the recording and go take a shit. Holy fuck, chat. While I was taking a shit, I checked my phone. My brother just proposed to his girlfriend. She said yes, of course. Holy fuck, man. Oh my god. Oh, that's so good to see. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know his girlfriend too well, but like, they've been dating like a year and a half, some shit like that. They've been dating a while. And it's kind how long have they been dating actually? Oh, she was here last Christmas. 2 years? 3? No, because I was still in high school. Or they've been dating a few years, probably. Something like that. But damn. They got married, man. They haven't been married yet, but I mean, now they're engaged. Holy shit, they're engaged. And I'm guessing that as soon as they get married, they're probably going to buy him a house. Because he's been living in the same apartment since I was like fucking 8 or 9. Some shit like that. Because he moved down to a big state college in one of the big metros in our state. And he ended up like dropping out pretty early on because he didn't like it. And I mean, life has worked out well for him, so I don't fucking, you know, drop out if you're. It's the Steve Jobs thing of like drop out when you're making enough money to like stably get out, you know? And he was well off and fine. But shit, he getting married. And he's been living in that same fucking apartment since he was like maybe 19, 20 maybe. Younger than I am now, because he dropped out of college about the beginning of his second year, third year maybe. And oh my god, man, he been living in that same apartment for like well over a decade. Because 15 years, yeah, 2010 or 2011 would have been when he moved down there. Because he was class of 2008. And damn, that is fucking crazy to think about. He's been living in that apartment 15 years, and he's probably... Damn, that is crazy. Because he's 35, and his fiance now... Fiance, that's crazy that you can call her that now. They've been dating for, like, a few years, and they're both in their 30s, and they're finally going to buy him a house, you know. Oh my god, that is fucking crazy. Because he's lived in that place fucking forever. And, you know, she's like bounced between towns and shit. And I respect it. And damn. Good for them. Because they're probably going to buy him an actual place pretty soon. I know they had mentioned looking at an actual house. So I'm guessing that's probably what they'll do, like, either before the wedding or pretty soon thereafter. Damn. That's fucking crazy. Because they had mentioned, like, getting farmland and shit, and we live in an area where they can afford to do that, because there's a lot of really, like, cheap, shitty farmland that's available, you know? Damn. Good for them. I'm proud of those two. But, because, you know, he had a marriage when he was younger, like, early 20s, and it... that bitch was fucking evil. She, oh my god, that bitch was crazy. Yeah, she cheated on him a bunch, and bitch was evil, but I'm glad they found something to be happy about. I'm glad I'm glad he's in a happy relationship, and, well, he's getting married. God, man, That's a fucking uplifting way to end the year, huh? Because it's 12:31, and he sent me that shit about midnight at about 12:07, so like a little bit under an hour ago. Holy shit! He probably did it knowing it's the last day of the year. That's fucking beautiful, man. And they're on vacation in Mexico right now. They aren't even. They're in like fucking. Oh, they're. Oh, dude. He planned that shit perfectly because they're gonna be at a fucking Mexican resort and they're gonna be looking up at fireworks on New Year's Eve as like newly engaged couple. Holy shit, that is romantic, man. Good for them. Good for those two. Proud of him. But God, asking her on fucking New Year's Eve is fucking genius. I would never in a million fucking years have thought of that. Oh my god. But damn. You love to see it. But that's a great way to end off the year, man. That kind of uplifts my fucking spirits. And honestly, I think that's a perfect segue to end the video because talked about the New York trip, talked about how crazy it was getting to go up there, and I didn't really go too in depth on the New York trip, but just for privacy's sake. But we did a bunch of shit up there as a school organization, and it was fucking awesome. Great, God, this has been a hard year. The shit with my grandmother, the shit with college, everything about this year's been hard, but it's looking up, and things are on the up and up for me, and things are on the up and up for my family. My brother getting engaged and shit. God, you love to see it. And that's really all I have for today. Thanks for watching.